Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. And I am here to kind of come in to just do a quick reading for you guys. I wanted to be able to just see where the energy is and where it's going. I know many of us are currently in doing this social distancing, or we're being told to stay in place and not go to work. Only the essentials, like our healers who are on the front lines trying to help people, and our providers who are trying to make sure that we all have what we need, or we're able to get what we need. So all of you guys who are still out there, thank you. Take care of yourself. And those of us who are doing our part by staying home and isolating ourselves so that we do not get sick or that we do not spread sickness if we are sick. Take care of yourself too, because you are playing a huge part in this process. So I just wanted to see what the energy is and what it will say. I do have a couple crystals here just to kind of go through it with you. Obviously, I am carrying forward the rose quartz for healing and to send love and to remind yourself to take care of yourself, okay, and take care of those who rely upon you, and to spread your love around. We have the rhodonite, to be able to, be self-forgiving, and it's a healing stone. And then we have the black tourmaline to ground and protect. I have a carnelian here for creativity, and then a pyrite here that is used for being able to bring energy to you that you wish to receive. Okay, so let's just get right into it. I'm not trying not to make this a really long video. My generator. I am using the Encore Tarot for this one. This is Charo Marchetti's new deck that's available on his website. So let's see what the energies are. It's still a new deck, so it's quite tight. Look at the edges. Isn't that just gorgeous? It's really pretty deck. I have a review on it if you want to look at it. All right. What is the energy for the week? What would you want to tell us? All right. Let's see. So the Chariot. The Chariot is that even though we may be sitting in place, the Chariot is a forward energy. It's a forward motion energy. It is barreling forward. So everything that's going on and around the world, everybody is galvanizing. They are charging forward. They are moving forward. Okay. So, and this is an energy that actually denotes that we're making progress. It's victory. So if we're going to look at this energy and from a worldwide perspective, that people are galvanized and they are charging forward. Now, we have a little bit of an issue in this particular card. If you notice, the horses are kind of going in two different directions. The wheels are kind of going in different directions. So while the guy is calmly moving things forward, does he have really everything in under his control? I mean, things are not always working as they expect. There may be a little bit of an issue of getting information and putting it all together and being able to get everybody on the same path moving forward. But nonetheless, he is still pushing forward. He's still moving forward and still pressing forward. This is also a card that denotes a type of victory. So they are being victorious. They are making steps forward. So whatever everybody in this world is doing their part, we are making gains and moving forward. Okay. So I think that's a good card to start with. This is an overarching energy. This is not, like the Eight of Wands where, we're in control. This is really a universal energy that's just pushing everything forward. So we are making strides. We are making steps and moving forward. Okay. So that's a good starting card. It means that, things are moving. We are not in a stalled position. Okay. So we have the Four of Cups. So there's the challenge to this. Okay, the challenge to this with the wheels going in different direction and the horses going in different direction. You have this Four of Cups, and you can there's several ways to look at this. This is often the boredom card, which is, apathy, not like, just not really caring. And there could be some of that with the leaders and stuff, with some of the people. That's a challenge. It's like, bring empathy in, be caring. But this is also, which I think is more appropriate for this card while this lays on top, is that all the choices that they have in front of them aren't exactly desirable choices. And they are kind of looking up for the pie in the sky. They're looking for other alternatives. They are searching for things, and finding the solution that needs to be done is a challenge. Finding the solution that will solve this is the challenge. And that could result in the going in different directions. Everybody just pushing in different directions. Okay. So the energy is they're searching for answers in order to make sure that we can get what is needed to be able to return the world back to normal. Okay, so that's where that energy is. So we have the High Priestess. And when you're looking at the High Priestess, so we have another major card here that just is sitting in the past. So we have these unknowns, and the High Priestess can be very, it's very kind of secretive. I mean, there's internal knowledge. It is the looking within. So when you're looking from a worldwide perspective, a global perspective, with the situation that has just recently passed, is that we are coming, everybody is being forced to reflect inwardly about what they're doing and having to make changes and to understand their part and impact and how we have the impact that we have upon the world. Okay. She is inner knowledge. She's asking us to settle down and look at our intuitions, and the emotions are also high. So in a lot of this stuff could be, it's the feminine. This particular one, there's this moon, this planet in the back. It's like we have to reach those knowledge, and it is hidden from us with the High Priestess. Okay, but it is to look and reflect inwardly. It is to understand your intuition. It is to look into our intuition and understanding how we play a part in the world, and about all of this stuff that is unfolding. So instead of the whole, we were probably charging forward so much, that this inner reflection, this force to step back and look inwardly in order to figure out what we do, probably resulted in the people, the world saying everybody needs to stay away, social distance. We got to be able to stop this thing in its tracks. So we have underlying is this Fool. So this is interesting. If you've noticed that so far we already have some really big energies. So right now we have the Fool that is underneath us. So this is the underlying motion. So I would probably say the coronavirus would be this brand new thing that's coming. We have not faced something like this before. And this is so true because even in my own world, my own job, because I do have a job, in my own world, this thing I've been doing my job for many, many years, several decades, and I've never seen anything like this occur. And So this is all brand new. This is the Fool. This is the beginning of a new journey. And here we are in this situation. We are at a beginning of a new journey. We are sitting in the this is the new journey. It's how do you deal with something we've never seen before? And now it is worldwide. It is global. So we are now, this is not by borders. This is another part of this high priestess, this inner reflection, right? This inner understanding, this inner knowledge is that this is not bound by national borders. This is a worldwide thing. This is a worldwide situation that everybody must be aware of and to be able to help it. It's something new, right? Moving forward. So we have the Two of Cups. So this is, the Two of Cups is obviously, relationships, okay? These are people coming together and forming a union, a relationship, okay? So if you look at it from a worldwide perspective, you're looking at the relationships we have with each other and how we have to come together in order to help one another, understand the relationship we have with each other and the reasons why we need to implement what we are implementing with the social distancing. So in order to, if you are healthy, you need to stay away so that you don't catch it, so you don't spread it to those you love, because you may have, parents and elderly relatives and friends that could be, or people with underlying conditions who could possibly catch it from you, and then they could put them in jeopardy. But if you are sick, you need to be able to stay at home, social distancing, isolate yourself so that you don't spread it to any other healthy people, that it just compounds and they take it home to their families. So it's really important to understand the relationship you have with everybody. Whether you know a person or not, you're still interconnected in a way that just by your mere presence can affect another person, whether you know it or not. And the subtle ways that usually we do when we're not in a world crisis is that sometimes when you go to a store and you give a smile, or maybe you buy coffee for someone, and because you just do it because you're paying it forward. You never know how that simple act has affected that other person, and that could have been that person had a horrible day and somebody gave them something, as simple as buying coffee for them, that lifted them up, made them feel worthwhile, made them feel not so alone. So those are just small, tiny things that we may never realize. Or somebody gives us a smile and compliments you and says, that is a beautiful, your hair looks beautiful today. Or, I love that outfit you're wearing, or anything. Any sort of things that's you can say, or somebody says to you, and you don't even have to know it, but they can impact you. When you are dealing with this coronavirus that's going around the world, it is on a grander scale to understand exactly how interconnected you are with not only your friends and family, but to people you don't even know that you just interact with, you pass by on the street. So this is the understanding of that. Okay? So that would be in the future. Would be the awareness that would come from the high priestess with the Fool. It would come to this awareness of how interconnected we really are. Okay? So above, we're worried. This is the Nightmares card. This is the Nine of Swords. We're worried, and it's on our thoughts, which is really interesting because when I do a Celtic cross, the underlying factors is usually here, and then what's on our minds is usually above us, right? So when I have it, you have the Nine of Swords. Everybody is worried. There's a lot of worry. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of people being kept up at night. There's, especially for those who knows someone who is sick, or someone who is frightened about getting sick. Okay, there is a lot of worry. So how, and it can create some nightmares, especially if you're fearful, because this is such a worldwide situation. There's worries about if coming in or coming into their own country or into their own home, or you are looking for people who are struggling right now, like, Italy, Spain, all the countries that are really heavily affected by this, there's a lot of worry and fear. And then other countries are worried and fearful that that would go into their situation. People at home are worried that it's going to come to them. So there's still a lot of worry and fear to deal with as people are moving through this. Okay? So let's move on at the situation at hand. So the Hanging Man. So this is another huge card. So when you're looking at the Chariot, which is quite interesting, okay, so this is the central situation. And then you have the Hanging Man, and it is about being able to slow the spread of the virus, right? So you can see that right here. These cards are pretty big for this. So if you're looking at it from that perspective, you're seeing that things are being done. The energy is being pushed forward to find solutions, find things, okay, about the virus, which is new, right? And the idea is they're trying to slow it, bring it to a halt, right? But the Hanging Man also is about surrendering to new ideas, surrendering, okay? And because we can sometimes feel like, well, we know what to do. This is what we do when we deal with viruses before. This is how we handle it. Well, those things may not work, and we have to open ourselves up to something new, and not just about the virus, but some new way forward. And you have to surrender your old outdated ideals. Surrender these ideas. We are now a global community. We have planes, we have internet, we have ways of connecting with each other that did not exist not even 20, 30 years ago. They just didn't exist. I mean, we had to literally pick up a phone call and make a long distance, or we had to make a long distance international call. Now we've got internet. We can video conference around the world. We can talk to our loved ones and our families and our friends from around the world. We are globally connected. We can jet set around the world. We can explore the world. We are a global community. So we have to surrender these ideas that we're not just individual little places with borders. Yes, we have borders that defines the countries that we come from, but we really are a global community, okay? So these are surrendering our ideas. So, but it also is talking about slowing the virus, okay? So they're racing for new solutions to slow the virus, all right? So moving on. So the Page of Cups. So right now, as we sit down, as we move through all of this, this would be the current environment. The current environment is that everybody is racing to listen to the news. We're watching the news, listening to the news, trying to find it, trying to know which is the right information, which is wrong information. How do we find reliable information? All right. So the world is watching. They're watching their leaders and what they say, watching the news and what it has to say. We are watching the World Health Organization and what they say. We're fishing for information. And in actuality, we're fishing for information that is good news so that we can alleviate the fear that we're feeling. Okay? So let's move it on. So this is our hopes and fears. This is the hopes and fears, which would be the 10 of Swords. So we have an end here. The 10 of Swords is an end by our own hands. I mean, there might be some people out there literally saying it's the end of the world. So we're prepping like it's the end of the world. I mean, we're racing to the stores to grab toilet paper. That's the panic buy. It's the end of the world. The fear is the end. What are we going to do? We're sequestered. We don't need to make sure we have all essentials, and then we go and we overdo it. So that's the fear. The hope is the end is over. We have reached the end, and we're going to turn the corner, and we're going to make progress forward. So this is a very appropriate card for hopes and fears because we want it to be over. That's our hope. It's over. But our fears are still driving us to do and make irrational purchases. storming the shelves. I mean, to the point where the stores have to implement new rules and say, no, you can't do that. You can only buy one package of toilet paper to make sure that everybody else has it. You can only buy one box of diapers so that so that someone who needs it desperately can have it. They are having to limit people so that we don't panic buy. So, and that would also go with the whole newness of the situation. So what would the outcome be now that we're moving through all of this, right? We have the Emperor. The Emperor is a person who is on top. He is in charge. He is making things happen, okay? The Emperor is also a male energy, so he is driving things forward. So things are not sitting on their laurels. They're not sitting still. We have the Chariot racing forward, and the Emperor is getting it through. As we realize how interconnected we are, the Emperor is going to make things happen. He is presiding. So we are looking, so at this point in time, as we're hunting for information, we are looking to our leaders to give us information that can help the situation, okay? So, and that we are all interconnected. So does that mean that the situation is at an end? I mean, are we finished? So we're still looking to our leaders to resolve this stuff. The people who are going to happen, who are going to happen to make it, to happen to find the solutions, we're looking to our leaders to convey that information to us with the Page of Cups, right? But we also have this Chariot here. So that also denotes that we are going to be eventually at some point in this time of week, we might start seeing some better news coming forward instead of constant downfall news. Exactly. Here it is, the hope. Okay. Well, that was interesting. So this is the hope. The hope is we're turning the corner. We're turning the corner and we are going to be able to beat this. So it is happening. We are going to be able to. The world needs to just pay attention and to understand how we are interconnected and do our part in order to make sure that we can kick this thing out of our system and be done and over with. This is the hope. Okay? And then the Empress. And at the end of all of this, we are going to get a new beginning, a new birth. And this card is really interesting that she shows up, because if you have noticed when you're looking to the news, when you're looking at the news and trying to find information, there is news coming out with some interesting effects that the Earth is going through as the Earth ramps down. And the humans, all of us humans, go home and sequester ourselves and self-isolate ourselves to help move this virus away. Pollution has dropped. The air quality has gotten better. The waters are clearing. Like in Venice, I don't know if any of you have seen those images. The waters are running clear. The sediment's not being kicked up. You can see the fish. You can see there's some health returning. Do you think the Earth might have sent all of us humans to our room and said, here, think about it. Think about what you're doing. This is a new beginning. This is a new birthing. When we come out of this understanding how interconnected we will we be making some changes? Which I can already tell you right now. Now that I've done this spread, this is a really good outcome. But this is more of an understanding of who we are and how we are connected into all of this. These are huge amounts of big energy. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 major arcana cards. So that tells me these are energies that are moving beyond. There's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 cards. So the majority of this spread is majors. This is beyond something that is man-induced. Okay, this is a universal energy that's gone forth. This is something that has been karmic, that is coming in. So we have this new thing, this coronavirus, that's brought us to this situation. But there is some good outcomes. We have this We have this hopeful energy of learning and understanding how we're interconnected, and about the gaining control with the Emperor as the father of the deck. And he's active, and he's active energy. He's protective. He's in control. Which you have the Hope card, which is uplifting. There is hope. We can see hope in the future. And the Empress, which is the new beginnings and giving birth. We literally have the mother and the father of the deck at the top. So therefore, this is a big energy moving forward. A lot of the most other frequent cards is your Cups cards. We have 3 of them here, and then we have your Air cards. Okay, so the Cup cards is all of our emotions. We're dealing with our emotions. That deals with that feeds into the fears and about what's going on. The fears. We have 2 fear cards here when it comes to the Air cards. And then, so our emotions are wrapped up around within that. So, all right. So this is where we are standing. This is the energy moving forward. It looks like that they are heading forward. And I don't even know if this is the energy of the week. This really isn't. This is just kind of telling me where we are as a collective, as a global community, how we're moving forward and dealing with this, coronavirus. And it is going to make some changes. We're going to see some big changes, and we are going to understand our interconnectedness, and we are moving forward. It is marching forward to bringing the virus to a standstill, to bring it, but it is also releasing of ideas to finding new ways forward. I guess this isn't really an energy of the week. This is more or less like how we are marching forward as we are fighting this situation. And then for everybody to understand their part and understand how they are important, how you are important in how we handle this whole situation. So anyways, I really hope you enjoyed this reading, and I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.